So it's just after 9 p.m. on Tuesday, the 31st of March 2020, and I'm just looking at the markets, doing a scan. And there's a couple of things that are quite interesting that I'm going to comment on now that I'm really going to be watching tomorrow, and I thought this might be of interest. So I'll start off with the Dow. What I want to highlight here is this is the daily. Daily's done a retracement. It's back into the moving averages, so it's a point of equilibrium. So therefore, this is a good area for it to turn and to head low. We had a bearish candle set up on Friday, and this is kind of where we are end of Tuesday. What's interesting, what is interesting, of course, is that if I measure from the previous highs down to this, we're coming into a 50 fib level there. Then what I'm going to do is I haven't done this one yet, just move that up to there. We're hitting a 382 on the weekly basis. So if I just switch over to weekly, that is a 382 level there. It's not just that, but actually we've also come into, we're also close to these levels of support and resistance and round numbers and such. So my point of that is to highlight that actually this is a valid area that if we did head lower from here on, we would have completed a minimum weekly retracement and a daily retracement, and therefore we've done a retracement. We can do another leg lower. So I'll go straight to the Nasdaq, keep it short, but this is really what I've been looking at here. Bit of a bearish candle setting up now, so give or take 49 minutes until the day closes. So that's an interesting point. It's up against a support resistance level. It's up against previous lows. It's sitting on a fib level as well, so I'll just measure from that one to that one. It's sitting at a 50 to 618, so it's a nice area for it to turn around. It's also close, excuse me, close to the moving averages. And again, if I measure that from the highs here, in terms of a weekly retracement, it's sitting at the 382. So there's a lot of different reasons why this could be setting up and heading to go lower. I was kind of expecting a deeper retracement, but this has ticked multiple boxes, really, and it is sitting at key levels. So if just go and have a look here on the weekly, you can see we're back in below these previous highs over here. There really isn't that much beyond that per se. So if it does struggle and find resistance here, the market could ultimately head lower. And so this was something that I didn't really take into account on the weekend when I was looking at the markets, but I do like the look of it now. So I'll do one more just to get a sense of and as I said, it's the US markets that are really leading everything else. So I'll do look at the S&P. Take that into account. Just want to see if there's any other additional levels. Straight into the weekly retracement. There we go, up against that 382. And maybe have a look at anything else. Just see if there's any of the other ones there. Thank you very much. Just grab the tip of that one. Oh, okay, it's going to be like that. Up to that one there. Alright, so in here we're not even at the 50, so that one doesn't measure exactly the same way. So I'm really just looking at this, my point being that the daily has retraced into an area that is suitable for a weekly retracement as well as a daily retracement. And in some of the situations we're back into the moving averages, which is a point of equilibrium, and we're also up against support resistance as well as fib levels. There's quite a few reasons why the market could legitimately head lower from this point on. And so what I'm going to be looking between tonight and tomorrow night is to see the market start to break yesterday's lows and obviously follow through on this, really to see how the daily plays out. So we had a really bullish day yesterday, and of course in some of the cases we actually broke the weekly highs. Nasdaq, for example, if we go look at that, it did a really good job of creating a bit of a swing low there. So this is really where it gets interesting, because it's a fork in the road and you kind of have to play it by play. And this isn't really about looking for trading opportunities. This is really about assessing how the market is unfolding. Is it going to do another leg lower and then kind of start to bottom out? And so this is just interesting observations on price action while they're forming, and just to see how that ultimately unfolds.